Friends, I welcome you all to this learning session. I am going to take a poem for you, and the title of the poem is The Sun Rising. And this poem is written by John Donne. John Donne is one of the greatest metaphysical poets. Actually, he was the leader of Metaphysical school of poetry. So, if you look at the title, if you look at the title of this poem, the first impression that you will receive or you will have is that the poem is about the rising sun. Means the poem is about the sun. Looking at the title only. But it is not so. If you go through this poem, you will find this poem is not about the sun, rather it is about lover and a beloved, and the love that exists between couple, or exists between a lover and beloved. Actually, this poem is about the authority of love, talking about love. Primarily, that poem talks about the beauty of love that one experiences on this earth. And the love purchased by a lover for a beloved. This is what the poem actually talks about altogether. So, without any delay, I would like to read the poem first to you, and then within my capacity, I would like to relate this poem, explain this poem to you in such that you could understand the whole poem, what actually it is talking about. यानी इस पोएम को मैं एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करूँगा फर्स्ट, लेकिन उससे पहले मैं इस पोएम को पढ़ दे रहा हूँ और आप अटेंशन करें, मतलब स्टैंड अटेंशन दें, ध्यान दें, सुने. Try to feel the text of this poem, feel करने की कोशिश करें टेक्स्ट को. फिर उसके बाद हम लोग इस पोएम के अंदर जो बातें रखी गई हैं कवि के द्वारा, उसको हम लोग समझने की कोशिश करेंगे. The poem begins and it goes, busy old fool, unruly sun, why does thou thus through windows and through curtains call on us? Must to thy motions lover seasons run? Saucy pedantic wretch, go chide late school boys and saw apprentices. Go tell court huntsmen that the king will ride. Call the country aunts to harvest offices. Love all alike, no seasons knows nor clime, nor are days, months, which are the regs of time. Thy beams so reverent, why and strong, why should thou think I could eclipse and cloud them with a wink, but that I could not lose her sight so long? If her eyes have not blinded thine look, tomorrow late tell me whether both Indias of spies and mine be where thou left'st them, or lie here with me. Ask for those kings whom thou sawest yesterday, and thou shalt hear all here in one bed lay. She's all states and all princes I, nothing else is. Princes do play us. Compared to this, all honors mimic, all wealth alchemy. Thou, son, art half as happy as we, thine ears us is, since thy beauties be to warm the world that's done in warming us. Shine here to us, and thou art everywhere. This bed thy center is, and these walls thy sphere. This is the poem that I read to you. It is actually text or text. I would request you to have this text before you and try to understand its meaning. Within my capacity, I would like to explain this poem line by line. कोशिश मेरी रहेगी कि मैं आपको इस पोएम को हिंदी में समझाने की कोशिश करें। सबसे पहले मैं एक बात बताना चाहूँगा जो कि मेटाफिजिकल पोइट्री के संदर्भ में है। Means one thing I would like to tell you, it is about metaphysical poetry, means feature or characteristics of metaphysical poetry that you could experience in the very beginning of this poem. Means इस पोएम के शुरुआत में ही आपको देखने को मिलेगा और मिल रहा है। The most important, that most frequent style in which the poet begins a poem, especially those who belong to the metaphysical school of poetry, is that they begin their poem with abrupt opening, astonishing opening. What you find in Donne's poem as well. Means the poem that we are reading is Sun Rising. यानी मेटाफिजिकल पोइट्री का एक ख़ास विशेषता होता है, मतलब वो एक ख़ास विशेषताओं में से है कि इसकी अब्रप्ट ओपनिंग होती है। यानी ज़्यादातर आप पोम्स में पाएंगे कि मेटाफिजिकल जो स्कूल से बिलोंग करते हैं वो अपनी कविताओं को जब ओपन करते हैं यानी शुरू करते हैं, उसमें एक स्टॉनिशिंग ओपनिंग होती है, अब्रप्ट ओपनिंग होती है, जो बिल्कुल अनकन्वेंशनल होता है। यानी जो एलिजाबेथन स्कूल ऑफ पोइट्री से जो बिलोंग करते हैं, यानी जो पोइट्स एलिजाबेथन टाइम में लिख रहे थे, स्पेशली उन लोगों के अंदर ये स्टाइल नहीं था। यानी इस तरह से स्टॉनिशिंग, शॉकिंग, अब्रप्ट ओपनिंग नहीं करते थे। मीन्स अपनी पोएम्स की शुरुआत जो होती थी वो अब्रप्ट ओपनिंग के साथ नहीं करते थे। उनकी जो ओपनिंग होती थी बहुत ही ज़्यादा पोलाइट, स्वीट फ्रेजिंग के साथ होता था। मीन्स इट वाज अ काइंड ऑफ ग्लोरिफिकेशन, सूदिंग, प्लीजिंग, ईजिंग काइंड के तरह मतलब अपनी कविताओं को शुरू करते थे। बहुत ही डेलिकेट और स्वीट मैनर से उनकी कविताओं की शुरुआत होती थी। लेकिन मेटाफिजिकल पोइट्स के अंदर ये ख़ास विशेषता है और इस वजह से ये डिफरेंट भी है अपने जो जिनके अगेंस्ट में लिखना शुरू किए। यानी जो मेटाफिजिकल स्कूल ऑफ पोइट्री एग्जिस्टेंस में अगर आया तो इसका एग्जिस्टेंस में आने का रीज़न ये है कि ये एलिजाबेथन स्कूल ऑफ पोइट्री के रिएक्शन में इस्टेब्लिश हुआ। यानी मेटाफिजिकल पोइट्री came into existence in sharp reaction against the Elizabethan school of poetry, जो आप देखेंगे इस पोएम में और बहुत ही शुरू में आपको ये देखने को मिलेगा। मीन्स ये पोएम की शुरुआत शॉकिंग है, अब्रप्ट ओपनिंग तो है ही, शॉकिंग भी है, स्टॉनिशिंग भी है, सरप्राइजिंग है कि ऐसे कैसे कोई पोएम अपनी पोएम की शुरुआत कर सकता है और वो भी सन को इस तरह से कैसे एड्रेस कर सकता है। बिजी ओल्ड फूल, अब्यूसिव लैंग्वेज है ये। यानी कवि अब्यूज करता है, वो भी किसको? सन को। You know what is the importance of sun? Actually, it is the sun because of which we are living on the earth. If the sun stops shining, we shall or we will reduce to ashes, will reduce to dust in some days or months or years. You can know the importance of the rising sun, the sun coming up and shedding rays across the globe. It is the sun that we are actually feeding upon, and because our existence can be supposed on this earth. तो आप समझ सकते हैं कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है सन इस दुनिया के लिए, और एक यूनिवर्सल बॉडी है, और उसके लिए कवि टेरिबल वर्ड यूज कर रहा है, ऑफुल वर्ड है ये, एब्यूसिव लैंग्वेज और एब्यूसिव वर्ड के साथ लेबल करता है. Busy, old, full. Old itself is not good word in regard to the one that poet is addressing. And fool, we all know, it sounds abusive, and it is abusive word. If you could address someone which is very important, and the life on the earth actually depends on him or her or any individual who is so much important to this world, and you saying or addressing him or her or any man or woman on the earth who is so much important and saying fool means it doesn't sound good. बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं लगेगा उसको. फूल मतलब बेवकूफ. आप कैसे कह सकते हैं किसी को बेवकूफ? वो जिससे आपकी जिंदगी चल रही है इस दुनिया में, वो जिससे कि पूरी कायनात है, ये पूरी दुनिया है एग्जिस्टेंस में, और उसको पोएट बोलता है फूल. बिजी फूल, बिजी ओल्ड फूल. You could take it like this. And then he goes on to say unruly son. Unruly is a word which means ill-mannered, ill-cultured, uncivilized. Means you do not know the etiquettes and the manner that how you have to behave on this earth, how you have to behave among people. You are unruly, you are fool, and you are ill-cultured. तुम बेवकूफ हो और तुम मैनर भी नहीं जानते हो, असभ्य हो. इस पोएम के from this opening or from the very first line of this poem, इस पोएम के फर्स्ट लाइन से पोएट के मूड को भी आप समझ सकते हैं कि पोएट किस मूड में है. इसका मतलब कि पोएट खुश नहीं है, ये झलक रहा है from the very beginning of this poem. The way the poet opens the poem, the way the poet speaks the first sentence or first line of this poem, it reveals, it unveils that the poet is unwired, the poet is angry, is not comfortable, he is not at ease. यानी पोएट परेशान है, कुछ है जो इसको डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, और जाहिर है वो कोई और नहीं है. It is the sun itself, because I will have to relate the background of the poem to understand the whole picture. पूरी तस्वीर को समझने के लिए आपको बैकग्राउंड समझने की जरूरत है. Poet means lover, and he is there with his wife who is beloved. They are all, they both are sleeping and they are making love. You can suppose this and you can visualize this as you could go across the poem, or you could read out the poem when you go through the poem. जब आप पोएम को पढ़ेंगे तो ये बैकग्राउंड समझ में आ जाएगा आपको. यानी पोएट जो कि एक लवर है यहाँ पे, और बिलवेड है जो कि उसकी वाइफ है, दोनों सोए हैं। एंड इट इज़ लेट इन द मॉर्निंग, क्योंकि सुबह हो चुका है और सो रहे हैं। जाहिर सी बात है, सूरज के आने से एक डिस्टरबेंस पैदा होता है इस दुनिया के लोगों को। वो ये है कि उनको बिस्तर छोड़ना होता है, और बिस्तर छोड़ना ही नहीं होता है, एक लवर को बिलवेड से दूर भी जाना पड़ता है। ऐसे थोड़ी ना ज़िंदगी चलता है बैठे हुए और मोहब्बत करते हुए। प्रैक्टिकल वर्ल्ड में आपको कुछ करना ही होगा। तो पोएट परेशान है। परेशान इस वजह से है कि जब सूर्य की किरणें कमरे में आती हैं तो बेचारे का नींद खुल जाता है, और नींद खुलने के साथ साथ ये भी इंडिकेट करता है कि उसको अपनी वाइफ से दूर जाना होगा। मीन्स they both will have to part. Means it is the sun which is actually creating problem between the union that they are having. मतलब ये सूरज ही है जो उन दोनों को सेपरेट करने वाला है। बैकग्राउंड में ये भी है कि पोएट जो कि लवर है अपने बिलवेड के साथ रिलेशन में है। ही इज मेकिंग लव, एंड इट इज ऑल द सन which is peeping into the room through the curtain and through the window is at all devastated, seeing the rays and the beams of the sun getting into the room. यानी कमरे में जब सूरज की किरणें जब आती हैं, या उसकी जो 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 प्रकाश जब अंदर आता है, इनकी आंखें खुलती हैं, और आंखें खुलने के साथ साथ उनको ये भी इशारा होता है कि अब तुमको बिस्तर छोड़ना है। और एक लवर को बिलवेड से दूर जाना कितना मुश्किल होगा ये आप समझ सकते हैं। Because we all are living on this planet, and every individual is somehow will experience or has experienced this. तो बैकग्राउंड आपको समझ में आ गया होगा कि पोएट आखिर नाराज क्यों है और इतना गुस्सा क्यों है। बिजी ओल्ड फूल अनरूली सन, कहने की वजह क्या है। मीन्स इट इज द पोएट हु इज डिस्टर्ब्ड बाय द सन which is or who is peeping into the room through the curtains and through the window, and he has to leave and will have to go for day work. Means the poet is disappointed, frustrated, and why? Because he will have to leave his wife and will have to go out for some work, because it is not good for an individual to stay all day long with beloved one in one bed or in one room. This is not a way that life works. इस तरह से जिंदगी थोड़ी ना चलती है कि रात भर भी सो, दिन भर भी सो इस वजह से कि अपनी वाइफ के साथ हो। तो खाओगे क्या, पढ़ोगे क्या, लिखोगे क्या, जिंदगी ऐसे थोड़ी ना चल जाएगी। तो नाराजगी है और पोएट गुस्सा है, ये आपको पहली लाइन से ही समझ में आ जाता है। फिर उसके बाद पोएट बोलता है, Why does thou thus through the windows and through the curtains call on us? Means इस तरह से, तुम इस तरह से क्यों आते हो? क्या मैनर है? Is this the manner that you could get into my room without any permission? Don't you see that we are sleeping, my wife and me sleeping and making love? What is this? Are you mad or have you gone mad? Don't you know the manner in which you could treat with people around? Have you gone all empty-headed, dull-headed? तो तो इस तरह से तुम क्यों झांकते हो? पीप, कॉल ऑन का मतलब आप समझें कि पीप इनटू, झांकना, या खिड़की से या पर्दों से आना। पोइट ये बोल रहा है कि ऐसे तुम क्यों आते हो, खिड़की से, पर्दों से झांकते हो, क्या मजा आता है तुमको? Must to thy motions lover seasons run? There are two questions the poet is raising. What I understand over here, that poet is not raising questions to the sun, but to the people, those who are beyond this room, those who are raising questions on lovers all the time. हमको ऐसा लगता है sun तो एक बहाना है. The poet is pointing out to those people who are all the time raising questions to lovers, those who are in love. Why do you peep into my life? This is what the poet actually wanted to say. And he is not saying to the sun. Over here, physically we are experiencing that he is saying to one who cannot speak, because the sun is not a man who is there listening to you and going to respond to you. So metaphorically, I could relate you to understand the whole picture, that the poet is raising two questions. The first, why do you peep into my room in this manner? क्यों झांकते हो तुम मेरी जिंदगी में? कमरे में मतलब जिंदगी में क्यों झांकते हो? और must to thy motions lover seasons run. Thy motion means the movement of the sun the poet is talking about. Motion. Thy motion means the motion of the sun. Or you know very well that it is the movement of the sun that makes time. यानी जो सूरज की घड़ी जो हमको चलते हुए दिखती है, आपको भी दिखती है, ये घड़ी दरअसल रिलेट करता है किस चीज को? मूवमेंट को. द मूवमेंट ऑफ द सन. इट इज द मूवमेंट ऑफ द सन दैट डिटर्मिन्स द लाइफ ऑन द अर्थ. We all people are governed by time, and time is made by what? We all know it is the movement of the sun that makes time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the cycle that we follow. Every individual on the earth you'll find following this. Follow time means what? We are following the sun. Life is governed by sun, means time. And poet is saying, must to thy emotions lover seasons run. Means those who are lover on this earth, those who are passionately involved, not in physical beauty, but beauty of any kind, you may relate. But over here the poet is talking about himself, relating to his, including his wife as well, beloved as well. So must to thy emotions lover seasons run. Lovers, there is universal connotation. Lovers, आशिक, वो लोग जो दुनिया में सिर्फ मोहब्बत करते हैं. तो आशिकों की दुनिया क्या तुमसे चलता है? It is you who will determine my life or lover's life. It is you who will say when I have to get up, when I'll have to go to bed, when I'll have to go to work. It is you who will point me out to perform my affairs, to do my affairs. Who you are, that you could peep into my life, and who you are will tell to get up, to stand up, to work, and to involve yourself in the work. Who you are to tell me, the poet is saying. Two questions, as I have told you. The poet is asking the first questions: why do you thus come into my room or peep into my room through curtains and through windows? And it is you who will determine the life of mine, means lovers, who you are. Means if you try to understand over here, you'll find that poet is belittling the importance of time. Means importance of the sun means importance of time. Time does not matter to the one who is a lover. Those who are passionately involved in any kind of thing on this earth, time does not matter. If you go on sightseeing, if you go on the bank of Ganges, you'll find lovers sitting there from morning, then at noon, then at evening, and even you'll find after the sunset the same lover sitting at the same place, spending much and much time without understanding all. So time does not matter to the one who is a lover. So belittling the importance of time, metaphorically belittling to the importance of the sun as well. The poet says, actually it is not you who determines my life, and you are not supposed to peep into my room. You are not supposed to see me. Try to be civilized. Try to be such that you be respected by me as well. Don't be unruly. Don't be fool. Do not look at me. Do not peep into my room. Do not try to govern my life, because you mean nothing to me. At this point, I would like to stop here. I would continue in the next video. Until, take rest and enjoy the beautiful life Almighty has blessed you.